Estamos de volta com o Lado B aqui pela Music Television Brasileira, um momento que todos aguardávamos ansiosamente, inclusive esse que vos fala mais uma vez. Jason Pierce é o nosso convidado. Zé Antônio Godoy bateu papo com o eterno ex-Spaceman 3, sempre líder do Spiritualized, ali na retaguarda do Festival Reading, na Inglaterra, agosto desse ano. E nesse bate-papo que a gente vê agora, recheado aí de imagens videoclípicas, temos filosofia musical. Puta, mosquito de novo, mas tudo bem, podemos continuar porque aqui é o Lado B. Temos filosofia musical por conta de Jason Pierce, temos inclusive jazz presente aí nessa filosofia e temos um grande momento, até o Etna, o vulcão faz parte desse bate-papo mais do que exclusivo. Boa viagem com ele, do Spiritualized, do nosso camarada Jason Pierce.
I don't think anybody has a gift for music. I think anybody can do it. You know, anybody can pick up a guitar and make noise, you know, and it's, you know, so many people think that playing music is like a God-given talent, or like, and most of the statements that come from artists and composers and whatever in the West kind of live up to that myth. You know, they say this is from the heart, or music floats in the air and I'm just the conduit, you know, I just channel it. And I think that anybody can do it. You just have to apply yourself to it. And I think that's why music has kind of gotten exciting again now with bands like the White Stripes and bands that aren't particularly there showing off a talent. They're just strapping guitars around their neck and making noise, you know, and I think that's good, you know. It doesn't matter whether you're playing to 10,000 people or 100 people, you know, that's our aim every night. It's not, it's, we said years ago, it's about hitting the highest highs and the lowest lows. It's about trying to make music that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand out, or that gives you goosebumps. You know, the kind of I guess, regardless of the kind of music you're into, and the kind of music that really excites you, everybody knows that feeling. You know, everybody knows that amazing feeling that you get from listening to music you've never heard anything like before. And it's going after that every night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in space.
kind of changed the slant on that a little this time, because we just used the cash to do stuff that we wouldn't normally be able to do. So we took some money and bought ourselves tickets to Sicily, where Mount Etna was erupting, and just to be able to stand on the side of an erupting volcano, it was something that was way off the limit of what you normally get to do. And so they're kind of okay for that. At the start, they weren't meant to be special editions. They were meant to be the edition, and they stopped being made when I ran out of money. And we started doing them as a kind of a way of saying music is too important to be sold in the cheapest possible way. You know, everybody talks about units of sale, and all of the meters of success in music are to do with the business of selling music. You know, it beats me every time why bands get excited about how many records they've sold, or the position they are in a chart, you know, because that's got absolutely nothing to do with their music. It's wholly to do with the business of selling their music, which isn't really their business. And we started putting our records into beautiful boxes and beautiful packaging, because it just seemed like a statement in itself, saying we don't care how much this costs, this is too important to just be thrown out in the cheapest possible way to make as much money as you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in space.
This is our last show for a while, and then we go into the studio in maybe 3 weeks or so and start putting together a new record.
And do you have a name for the song or in music?
No, it's early days yet, but it's heavily influenced by. I made a record in about 3 months ago with probably the giants of European jazz, people like Han Bennig, Edmund Parker, Kenny Wheeler was on the record, Paul Rutherford, and we just documented playing free music over 3 days, and it's an absolutely astonishing record, and I think that's the way we're leaning, not necessarily towards free jazz, but just documenting the sound that this band as it plays now, because this band is absolutely on fire at the moment. What do I like? Like I said earlier, I kind of think it's pretty thrilling that bands are getting back into a kind of garage take on things, that it's not about saying, hey, can you do this with your fingers, or can you do this with your voice, you know, it's just about making primitive music. I think that's exciting. And the bad, you can always ignore the bad, you know, it doesn't get in the way of things, and there's so much stuff out there. You can't cover the sort of history of music in one lifetime. You know, there's always somebody who's going to say, have you heard this, have you checked this out, you know, always back to rock and roll.
Sempre de volta ao rock and roll. Que figura, mais figura que você conhece com exclusividade aqui no Lado B, Jason Pierce. Chuva de eletricidade na cabeça da rapaziada, cortesia do Spiritualized, ainda uma das bandas mais instigantes do pop planetário de virada de milênio. E vocês viram aí conexões com a nata do jazz de vanguarda, o free jazz europeu. O que será que vem pela frente? Só mesmo aqui no Lado B para saber. O Lado B vai chegando ao final. Tem alguma coisa para falar, Zé, para rapaziada? E-mail, ladob@mtv.com.br, sugestões, reclamações, missivas, aquela coisa toda. A nossa trilha sonora, Billy Childish, um dos caras também mais figuras da história. Logo mais o Zé Antônio vai ter que vir para contar umas histórias muito curiosas que tem a ver com figura que nos embalou hoje, Billy Child. Ficamos por aqui, semana que vem tem mais, logo mais tem mais. Até.